Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, guys? Sergeant Moose here, and I'm very excited to announce that we've unlocked all of the brand new Owlf recordings that were released with Isabel on yesterday's DLC. Guys, it was a really long, painstaking process to get these Owlf recordings, mainly in part because I believe they are bugged. It took me around finding 60 or so recordings just to obtain the new 19. Because for some reason they weren't unlocking as I was obtaining and exfilling with them. Nonetheless, guys, we got it done. About 5 hours later, we got them all unlocked. This will be my first time hearing them too, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. But with that said, let's jump into the new Predator lore with the new Owlf recordings, guys.
Dutch, it's Sean, and by the time you receive this recording, I will have joined Stargazer as head of xenobiology. I know you got reservations about Stargazer, so do I, but by offering me a position on this project, they've given us a window into their operations. After what they did to us, it's an opportunity that I have to take. I won't lie, it's more than just keeping an eye on the guys who shut down the Owlf. I want to be there for whatever discoveries they make. I need to know what they learn. I need to be there when they learn it. And I know I sound obsessed, and maybe I am. Maybe we both are. You couldn't walk away, and neither can I. But I'm not a soldier. I'm a scientist. I can't do what you can do, but I can do this. Additional tapes to follow. Sean Keyes out. The last few months have been frustrating. You'll be happy to know our efforts to sanitize Owlf headquarters were largely successful. Stargazer is years behind the curve regarding the alien threat, but that's all I can report. Xenobiology isn't as respected as it was in the Owlf. I mean, I submit research data, but I don't know what happens to it. They strangle all the interdepartmental communication, so the right hand has no idea what the left hand is doing. Directors seem either disinterested or incompetent. I mean, it's hard to tell. All inquiries outside their personal interests are ignored, leaving so much data and discovery untouched. Well, it's safe to say the only real directive here is provoking predator encounters. It's the only data I've submitted that's gotten any kind of traction. And I know I'm light on actionable intel, but sooner or later, it's just gonna hit the fan. And when it does, everything will come into sharp focus. Stargazer has identified the hot zone phenomena. I was hoping it would take them longer. But sooner or later, they were going to correlate environmental data with localized conflicts. Knowing that the predators hunt armed combatants in hot, humid locations has significantly narrowed their field of search. But we've crossed the threshold from inconvenient discovery to horrifying application. Someone in logistics let it slip that a deep cover team had been dispatched somewhere in Central America. And days later, a known cartel war goes completely apeshit. A week of the most violent exchanges they have seen in years. We can't know for sure if there was a predator event, as trophy claiming isn't unheard of in some of the more ruthless cartels, but there was a report of an enforcer who was missing his head and spine. When the directors read that report, I suddenly became really important to them. They wanted to know how we can provoke them. How violent do the battles need to be? What kind of people would make the best bait? This wasn't a one-time deal, Dutch. They're not gonna stop. I have gotten myself into something here and I don't know what to do. I was right. They've ramped up the use of provocation teams, not just in the Americas, but everywhere. I don't even know the full scope anymore. It's terrifying. been thinking about my dad a lot, hoping that if I put myself in his shoes, I might know what to do. We were a lot alike, but the ways that we were different, they're significant. Clearly, I've inherited his desire to be a part of the big picture, but the ways we go about it are night and day. You know, I mean, he was so worldly, so sure his next move was the right one, even when it wasn't the most ethical. Well, I'm not that man, but I'm starting to wish I was. I know it's not helpful to think like this. Look, I am who I am now, so I might not be him, but he taught me to work with what I have, not with what I wish I had, and to stand up and do the right thing, even if it means getting my hands dirty. I know taking down Stargazer is the right thing to do. And I don't know how dirty my hands can get, but I'm gonna find out. Oh, God damn it. I was just in a department heads meeting with the directors, and they're not content with just poking the bull. No, they want to sell the bull a frickin' machine gun. Apparently, they lost too many agents starting skirmishes. But that isn't the real problem. Those are just human fucking lives. The real problem is that the conflicts don't last long enough. They need to stretch them out to keep the predator window open as long as possible. I tried to steer him off of it. I really did. I'd lied. I told him the data doesn't follow. And then that fuckwit from logistics drops his brilliant idea. They could sell arms to the losing side of a conflict, and if they start to win, we just sell arms to the other side. We just keep the meat grinder going until fucking aliens show up. I mean, I can't let this keep happening. The larger consequences of this kind of instability are global. I have to tell someone. That someone is you. And I don't know how much of the DOD is in on this, so I gotta take it to the office of the Inspector General, and if they don't do anything, well, then I guess we're just fucked. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to the OIG with everything I know. I'll need proof, so I've put a drive together with a copy of everything I could get my hands on. The only problem is getting it out. I mean, I am stripped and scanned by security when I arrive and when I leave. We're not allowed any personal items. Everything is provided by Stargazer. Oh, man. These recordings have been small enough to get out on a micro SD card. I've been hiding it under my tongue, but the amount of data I can have on the agency, well, that really requires something larger. And, well, you know, there's only one conventional way I can think of smuggling this thing out, but might be a bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
This is an alert. Code yellow. Security protocols have been elevated.
Yellow? Confirmed contact! Shit! I gotta go! Oh shit, is this still recording? Oh, okay, cool, whatever. So, remember when I talked about the shit hitting the fan? Well, it hit the fan. And now we got shit everywhere. About 40 minutes before the alert, NORAD detected a high-altitude object appearing over northwestern Mexico. It maintained an erratic trajectory until it crashed some 26 kilometers southwest of El Fuerte. Normally, Stargazer isn't in the loop for a downed aircraft, but when I say it appeared over Mexico, I mean it wasn't there, and then it was, which suggests stealth technology. Drones dispatched over Mexican airspace provided aerial photography, but the crash site is heavily forested. Traeger is already boarding a cargo plane bound for El Fuerte with an extraction team, and that is all I know right now. Oh, Jesus, the last time we even got a glimpse of a Predator spacecraft, was Los Angeles. Imagine what we could learn. Everything is potentially on the table here. Interstellar travel, long-term environmentals, stealth tech, energy production. I mean, that's just the things I can imagine right now. I mean, who knows what impossible things might wait for us out there. We pulled a live predator from the wreck. We brought it back here. It's in the lab. It's restrained and hopefully sedated. With everything I learned from the post-mortems in the OWLF, I took my best guess as to what would keep the specimen unconscious. It's all just so insane. We had protocols against this at OWLF. We do not retrieve live specimens. I mean, their whole fucking existence is a hostile, violent mystery to us. Why the hell would we bring one home? Oh, God, I wish I was excited. I should be excited, but I'm not. I mean, this might be an unpopular opinion, but after so many cadavers, there's only so much more a live specimen can tell you. I mean, whatever we could learn won't be worth the risk, especially not for me. The only thing of value to us in a live predator is in its head. Language, culture, intentions, interstellar knowledge, why they love skulls so much. I mean, that's the valuable stuff, but it's all too dangerous. We have no idea what it can do, how much harm it can cause. Wish I could just poison its IV and end this nightmare before it begins. Oh, it woke up! Everything's fucked! Stargazer's down. The Predator escaped and we suffered heavy casualties. I took a stray round to the abdomen. It didn't pass through. I duct taped the wound, stopped the bleeding, but I'm guessing penetrating trauma to the bowel from what I can feel. Best case scenario, 3 hours maybe. I gotta get to a hospital. If I can make it. Shit, I'm sorry, Dutch. I kinda fucked this one up. Oh, focus. Come on, focus. Come on, Sean. Okay, here we go. If I don't make it, there's a flash drive duct taped to the toe of my left shoe. It's encrypted. Use the last active OWLF key we gave you to unlock it. Everything we need to take out Stargazer, whatever's left of it, it's on there. Oh, it was good knowing you, Dutch. If I don't see you again, I'll tell Dad you said hey. I know it's been a while since my last contact, but the good news, I'm not dead. My recovery took time, and my deposition to the OIG took longer. I'll save you the details and get straight to the point. DARPA doesn't want any of this going public. Their incompetence, lack of oversight, the stacks of dead bodies and alien fucking life, the whole clusterfuck would get them abolished. They'd hoped to turn Stargazer around by installing Quinn McKenna as director, but his experience is limited and Stargazer's rot was baked into everything it did. There's no saving it. I briefed them on our success in the OWLF, and they weren't thrilled to find out what we'd been hiding from them. But they weren't in any position to throw stones. It gave me some leverage, so I pitched reinstating the OWLF. We get back to business, I keep their dirty secret under my hat, but only if I'm made director. It was a risky move, but they're backed into a corner. So, I'm putting a team together. If you want in, I'm sure you'll find me. The OWLF is up and running. We got a skeleton crew right now, but we're growing fast. We've set up in Stargazer's old base, which is morbid, but is necessary. We need to break down their whole operation as we build up our own. Their tech and their resources were impressive, so we're taking those. But their records were shit. I can't tell if they were trying to hide things internally or just didn't care about protocol. Either way, this place is a rat's nest that'll take months to unravel. Externally, Stargazer isn't dead. I've received activity reports of continuing arms dealing using the same name. One of the little tidbits that OIG learned during their investigation was that many of the directors of Stargazer were former arms manufacturers or lobbyists for arms trade. We have no idea what kind of resources they had outside of Stargazer, but clearly it was enough to stay in business. I know it's been a long time, and I know you're hesitant about joining the OWLF, but we could really use you here. None of this is over. In fact, I think it's about to get much worse. Well, we've been cataloging Stargazer's Predator tech and found an old artifact in deep storage. A gauntlet with the unusual name, Predator Killer. Preliminary tests were interesting at first. The gauntlet projects an expanding armor over the wearer in a visually impressive feat of nano-informatics. But the tests proved the armor to be brittle and vulnerable to small arms fire. There's 6 independent targeting modules for 2 large plasma casters. Any attempt to charge and fire the weapons overloaded the suit, returning it to its nascent gauntlet form. Getting the gauntlet to remain active has been difficult. Whatever power source it uses is only good for about 24 seconds. And the best explanations we have is that we're looking at some kind of early prototype, one whose efficacy is still under review. Stargazer's been bolstered by a number of successful operations in the last few months. We'd hoped to strangle their funding until it dried up, but recent influxes of cash and resources has made them self-sufficient. Given the danger posed by Stargazer, we've been folded into a direct action coalition within a military project codenamed Voodoo. And they'll have the autonomy to deploy ad hoc into hotspots to deter Stargazer ops as they happen. The OWLF will work hand in glove with Voodoo should any extraterrestrial events occur. From what I've heard, this might be old news to you. There are rumors of some old Jack soldier with an accent assisting Voodoo already. Looking at their roster, I've recognized a few guys from the old days. It's good to see you got eyes on the inside. I'm glad you just put a team together. The OWLF is, as always, a loyal friend. Whew, this shit is getting beyond my pay grade. I just received a debrief from Voodoo Point Man Zeus. His team hit a Stargazer forward operating base in Bolivia. The problem is, Stargazer wasn't there. It was some private military contractor. Now, we know for a fact that this was a Stargazer opt, which means they're farming this shit out to PMCs now. At first, I thought it was to keep their hands clean, but the PMC didn't even know why they were there. Totally in the dark. They only had the one order: secure the location and engage local guerrilla groups on site. You can imagine the kind of mercenary that'd attract. Disgraced soldiers with itchy trigger fingers. Stargazer, it isn't just supporting wars. They're starting them. And the worst part, it's working. Predator activity has jumped 15%. Localized exactly where Stargazer has been sticking its fingers. I hope you're on this, Dutch, because if you're not, you need to be. I thought about keeping this from you, but you deserve to know. Cleopatra was sighted in Sierra Leone. The intel's good. She's on Earth, Dutch. I'm telling you this, knowing I can't stop you from tracking her down. You got a score to settle, and I get that, but you need to think about the bigger picture. We can't afford to lose you. Through skill, bleeding-edge science, and dumb fucking luck, you are still alive. You've cheated death so many times. Please, for the rest of us, don't go after her alone. And if you have to go out there, cash in a few favors. Take the team. Hell, tell me what you need, and I'll get it. I'm just asking you. I'm begging you. Just let us have your back. You want to hear something wild? earlier this year, we launched the Canis-1 Deep Space Reconnaissance Satellite. Taking what we've learned about Predator spacecraft, we hope to detect their incursions before they set foot on Earth. And we were still fine-tuning the system when it detected its first anomaly. An object matching Predator design modes is passing Venus on an intercept course with Earth. Naval response teams have been mobilized to the projected landing zone, but it's not likely to land for another 36 hours, so we pointed every dish we could at it. And we got a signal. SATCOM identified Predator communications from the craft, but they're directed at Earth. For the first time, it seemed like they were trying to communicate with us. But the xenolinguistics told us that nothing in the feed made any sense. It was the Predator language, but reduced to 3 symbols. We thought the signal was corrupted, but thank God someone from cryptography was in the room. It wasn't random. It was Morse code. And when we parsed it out, it read, "I am human." Dutch, if you thought that last transmission was fucking wild, allow me to blow your goddamn mind. We found the craft deep in the Mexican jungle. Its pilot? Human. Very human. Isabel Nissenbaum, elite sniper. She was declared AWOL, which is a shame for a lot of reasons. Dutch, I need you to know I'm serious when I say that at 1,200 meters, she might be one of the most deadly people on Earth. Which only makes more sense when we found out she'd spent the last year on another fucking planet being hunted by predators. I mean, they have a whole planet reserved for hunting people. I mean, from her account, of 8 people, all proven killers, she's one of 2 who escaped. Now, she's got no memory of how she was abducted. No memory. Dutch, they're snatching people right under our noses. I mean, if we had no idea this was happening, what fucking good are we? We're losing this fight. For every $1 Stargazer spends stirring up shit, we spend 10 hunting them down to clean up their mess. We don't have the global presence needed to make a significant dent in their operations. International relations are so tense that by the time we get authorization to deploy, Stargazers already got what they wanted. We take out some of their guys or some dipshit PMCs, but their op is over. Counter operations are a no-go. Voodoo can only do so much, and their casualties are taking a toll on the whole outfit. We've looked at the numbers, and they're bad across the board. The DoD wants to replace the directors, and I can't think of a good reason why they shouldn't. Unless something unprecedented happens soon, the OWLF will be in new hands. And I don't know if I can stomach losing it again. Well, it's already happening. The board at the OWLF is being replaced. I've been asked to stay on, but I don't see the point. My family's given everything they had to protect our world, and now it's all going up in smoke. I want to believe we've made things better, but I don't know if that's true. We thought we were guarding the world, and half the time feels like we were asleep on the job. You were right. Government can't move fast enough to rise against such an existential threat. You know, I think it's time to let go. Leave all of this behind. But I'm not done yet. And if anything, I'm more focused. When everything else fades away, the path becomes clear. And if you're gonna keep up this fight, then I want in. You're gonna need everyone you can get.